Very warm welcome to our biology class. Today, in this class, we are going to discuss regarding chemical contraceptive methods and as well as we are discussing regarding intrauterine devices, IUDs. In my previous video, I have discussed about natural contraceptive methods and as well as barrier methods. I have given the link in my description box. You can watch those videos also. Then first we'll discuss regarding chemical contraceptive methods in this class. Then we will understand intrauterine devices, IUDs. Students, whatever the chemical contraceptive methods are available, all those chemicals are commonly called as spermicides. You probably heard the word pesticides, rodenticides. What are those? Those are the chemicals which were meant for killing the pests or controlling the rodents. But here, these are the spermicides. It means these are the chemicals which are helping killing the sperms before reaching the sperms to the site of fertilization. And whatever the spermicides are there, these are available only for the females. Only the females can use it. Now let us understand what all the different type of spermicides are there. They are available in the form of creams, and even they are available in the form of jellies, foams, and films. In NCERT, they are given regarding the creams, jellies, and foams, but they have not mentioned the films. But remember, students, films are the very famous chemical contraceptive methods nowadays because they are very easy to use also. But whatever all these different type of the contraceptive methods are there, students. Now let us understand then what does these spermicides are containing and how they can be used and how these are going to bring the contraception. Students, commonly all these chemicals are contain weak acids like citric acids, sodium bicarbonates, nitric acid. So such weak acids are going to be there in that. Now, how to apply it and where to apply it? Students, whatever all these cream, jellies, foams, or it may be the films, all these are going to be applied on the inner wall of the vagina. To understand that, simply I will draw here the female reproductive system. You can observe here. To understand that, simply I will draw here the female reproductive system. Okay, these are the fallopian tube. And here is a uterus. And this is the vagina part. And on the either side of uterus, we will see the presence of ovary over here, and these are the finger-like projections. Fimbriae are there. Then here is a cervix, and the uterus part it is. Students, those who are all users are there. If they want to use these chemicals, then what they need to do? Simply, they have to clean their finger and take just 1 or 2 drops of that cream, jellies, or it may be the foam, and they have to apply it on the inner side of the vagina. So this is what the way how they have to apply. Otherwise, they can use it along with different barrier methods. You already know that, like diaphragms are there, and as well as cervical caps, or it may be the valves. Along with this, they can use the chemicals. Chemical methods they can follow. Now, you know that, students, commonly, whatever all these devices are there, they have a cup-like structure. This is the most common structure. Of course, some of them are designed in such a way that they can become easy to place and easy to remove. Yeah, like handles are even they have made. But those who are all using the chemicals, they can even use it along with the barriers. What they need to do then? They have to take these either diaphragm, cervical cap, or the valves, and they have to take 1 or 2 drops of these chemicals and they have to apply it on the inner side of these devices. And after once they have applied it, then they have to place it on the cervix. You can observe here. It is what the way how they have to place it. Now there is a one barrier is also there, and as well as the chemical is also there. After fixing it, if the woman is involved in the coitus activity, then what will happen, students? Okay, sperms are going to release here in the vagina in front of the cervix. But whatever all these sperms are there, students, now these sperms are very sensitive to acids. Because of that, what will happen? Whenever the sperms are comes in contact with these chemicals, the weak acids which were applied on the inner side of the vagina, they will started to die. One by one, they will started to die over here now. And even they are not able to take a entry even by that time because there is a barrier which is placed upon the cervix. Hence what? They are, first of all, they started to kill with the help of the spermicides. In addition to that, the barriers are not going to allow them to take an entry into the uterus. Of course, by this way, all these chemical contraceptive methods are going to give the contraceptions. By this way, all these chemicals are going to give the contraceptions. But you should have to remember that even these have a failure rates. They may not give you the 100% assurance that the conceptions not occur. There may be chances, students. There may be the chances of even the conceptions, even by using these chemical methods. I hope now you understood regarding the chemicals. Now let us understand the intrauterine devices. Students, whatever the intrauterine devices are there, the name itself says that they are going to be placed inside the uterus. Suppose here, this is what the female reproductive system. These are the fallopian tubes and uterus. It have a cavity, cervix over here, and the vagina is there. Now let us first of all understand where they are going to be used. Students, all these devices are going to be placed inside the uterus. Hence, they are called as an intra-uterine devices. Let us first of all understand how commonly they are made up of. Students, whatever these devices are there, they are commonly made like T-like structures. You can observe here, this is what the way how they have designed. And whatever this lower region is there, students, just have a small ring-like structure over here. This is the ring-like structure, and to this ring, they actually tagged one of the thread over here. Yeah, this is the thread, how these are all made up of. If this is non-medicated IUD, then nothing, like only just it is the plastic made some devices there. If it is copper T, then they are going to wind the copper wire on these arms. Here there is a copper wires are there. These are the copper Ts, copper releasing IUDs. Then if these are hormone releasing IUD, then they are going to be placed the hormone containing drums on these arms. Either they may fix the 3 drums, or sometime they are going to use only here there is a hormone containing drum is there. This is what the way how different types of the IUDs are. Then now let us understand what all the different types of IUDs are there. But whatever all these IUDs are there, these IUDs are fixed by doctors or expert nurses can able to fix it. See here, this is what the IUD, which is available in the form of packets. In that there is a one IUD is there here, and as well as there is a one tube is present, and in addition to that there is a one placer is there. What you need to do, just take a IUD, and whatever the lateral arms are there, you have to insert that into the tube, and after that slowly that IUD along with the tube has to be inserted through the vagina into the uterus. And after that, slowly, with the help of the placer, you have to place it properly inside the uterus and make any adjustment if you want to do. Okay, adjust it and properly place inside the uterus. And after that, slowly take out that tube. And even after taking the tube out of the vagina, you have to see that whether that IUD has placed properly or not. And once it is placed properly, then you have to, whatever the extra thread is going to be remains inside the vagina, it has to be cut. And students, whatever the IUDs are there, they are categorized into non-medicated IUD and copper-releasing IUD. Third one is hormone-releasing IUDs. What is the example for the non-medicated IUD and why they are called as a non-medicated? Students, whatever the non-medicated IUDs are there, these IUDs are just the plastic made device these are. You can observe here, students, this is what the way how they are made up of. And even they are tied the thread over here. They do not contain anything, but there are some such non-medicated IUDs are there nowadays. They are along with a barium. But earlier, just it is a simple plastic device. Then you might be thinking now, sir, how does this simple plastic device will bring the contraceptions? Students, these are going to be placed inside the uterus. You can observe here. This is what the way how they are placed. And whatever these IUDs are there, students, all these are even tagged by the thread. You can observe here, this is what the thread. And that thread will be remains inside the vagina, and that user is frequently asked to check the presence of the thread. Then what will happen? How this device can bring the contraception? Actually, what happens, students, whenever such type the devices are going to be placed inside the uterus, there will be a slight inflammation in the uterus. Here there is an inflammation. You can observe this is what the inflammation has occurred. Yeah, inflammation. It is a type of immune system, response of the immune system. What will happen then if the inflammation is there? 100% in that inflamed area, more phagocytic cells are there. Suppose now, if this woman, after placing the non-medicated IUD involved in the coitus activity, then what will happen? Here the sperms are going to release by the end of the coitus activity. They will take a entry into the uterus, and after that, what will happen with those sperms? Those sperms are started to phagocytosis by the phagocytic cells present inside the uterine wall. By that way, they are help in bringing the contraception. But suppose, for example, if they failed to phagocytosis, then what will happen? Even by using it, that may leads into the fertilization, that may leads into the conceptions. Because of that, most of the time people won't go for, or even the doctors are not prescribing these non-medicated IUDs. Then another type for the IUDs are the copper-releasing IUDs. Examples for the copper-releasing IUDs, copper T or copper 7, as well as multi-loaded 375. Whatever copper T is there, students, copper T and copper 7, they are simply like the T-like structures. And as you know that, but at their lower end, they are used to put the thread over here. Okay, this is what the way how the copper T and copper 7 is. And on these copper Ts, they have to put a copper wire over here, copper wire over here, copper wire over here. Then if it is the multi-loaded 375, how it is made up of then? Multi-loaded 375 is simply made almost like the T-like structure only, but it have some slight different condition is that here this is what the way how the multi-loaded 375. This is what the way how they are made up of. And here even they are going to put a thread over here. This is what the way how they are. And on this also they have a copper wire. Here is a copper wire. Right? So I hope you understood even how the multi-loaded 375 is made up of. Now, instead of lipase loop, we are going to place here the copper T. You can observe here, these are the copper T's. Yeah, I will just simply draw here the copper T like this. Then all of you know that the copper T's are the one who are all wounded with a copper wire. Yeah, so here is a copper wire. Now, you can try to understand how they are going to be useful. Once the copper T is placed, suppose after placing the copper T, if the woman is involved in the coitus activity, then the sperms are going to release into the vagina in front of the cervix, and they will start to take a entry into the uterus. What will happen then? There is a copper T, and even the copper T is also leading into the inflammation. It means that even the copper T's are the one who are helping increasing sperm phagocytosis. And in addition to that, the copper T's are going to help in decreasing sperm motility. Means, first of all, they are going to help in decreasing the sperm motility. And the question is how they are going to decrease the sperm motility then? What will happen? Whatever these copper T's are there, students, copper wire is over there here. This copper wire will keep on releasing the copper ions. And these copper ions, whenever they are comes in contact with the sperms, the sperm forward motility is going to decrease. And of course, the more number of phagocytic cells are there, they are increasing the phagocytosis of those sperms. Yes, in addition to that, these copper releasing IUDs are going to help in decreasing fertilizing capacity of sperms. Got it? So first of all, they will decrease the sperm motility, by which sperms are not able to reach to the site of fertilization, and they are going to increase the phagocytosis. That is the second role. And the third role is, even if they are reached to the site of fertilization, then they are leading into, they are decreasing fertilizing capacity of the sperms, by which the sperms are not able to involved in the fertilization. This is what the way how these copper releasing IUDs are going to bring the role. Here simply I will write here, students, all these are the role of copper IUDs. Now, let us understand what all the hormone releasing IUDs are there and how does this hormone releasing IUDs are going to bring the contraception. Examples for the hormone releasing IUDs are Reproductive and LNZ20. If you observe the Reproductive, it is commonly like the T-like structure only. So they are designed in this way, and here is a hormone-filled drums are there here in this region. Here is a hormone-filled drums, and even they are put a thread over here. Now, instead of the copper T now, just I'm going to replace that copper T with a hormone-releasing IUD. Here you can observe, students. Now, instead of that, I'm placing here the hormone-releasing IUD. Yes, this is the hormone-releasing IUD. Now, if the hormone-releasing IUD is fixed, then what will happen, students? Hormones are started to release over here. What hormones these are? These hormones, either it may be the progesterone or it may be the estrogen. And whenever the IUD is placed, of course, by that time also inflammation occurs. If the inflammation occurs, then whether these IUDs are going to help in increasing the sperm phagocytosis or not? Yes, of course. What will happen? By these hormones, then, students, the hormones will lead into altering the quality of the endometrium. They will make the endometrium unsuitable for implantation. And even they are going to change the quality of the cervical mucus. Students, here in the cervix region, there is a mucus, and this mucus quality is going to decrease due to the hormones. Now, suppose by this time, if after placing the hormonal IUD inside the uterus, if the woman is involved in the coitus activity, then what will happen? Sperms are going to release by the end of the coitus activity. But first of all, they are not able to take an entry into the uterus because the mucus quality in the cervix has got changed. That is what the one role of hormone-releasing IUD, in addition to the above roles. Okay. The another role is they are going to change cervical mucus quality. It means they are going to change sperm. They are going to change sperm cervix hostal. Okay. It means that whenever the quality of the cervical mucus changes, sperms are not able to take an entry. Okay. Even though, suppose for example, if some sperms are taken an entry into the uterus, what will happen then? If they will take an entry into the uterus, due to the presence of the more amount of hormone here, the sperm forward motility is going to decrease. And in addition to that, inflammation is there. Because of that, the sperm phagocytosis is going to increase. And due to the presence of the altered quality of the endometrium, even fertilizing capacity of the sperm is going to decrease. Got it, students? In addition to that, we already know that students, they are going to play the one more role. That one more role is they are going to make uterus unsuitable for implantation. So this is what the role played by hormone-releasing IUD. Okay, simply I will draw it like this, students. So these are the role of hormone-releasing IUDs. Okay, you have to remember that. So whatever the first three are there, so these are only the role of copper-releasing IUD. In addition to the above three roles, the two more roles are going to be placed by hormone-releasing IUDs. I hope so, students. In this class, you are all properly understood how the chemical contraceptive methods are going to be useful, and even how the hormone-releasing IUDs are going to helpful. This is what the way how they are going to be placed inside the uterus.